What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. Today we're focusing on is Victor Hedman in the Norris Trophy conversation. He's having a very good season. He's got 43 points through 62 games. I believe he's already surpassed career highs. He's a +4. He's actually not even playing that many minutes either. He's I don't believe he's in the top 60 in time on ice for NHL defenseman. But he's a steady hand on the Tampa Bay Lightning, and you're looking at Tampa. Stamkos is back. He's obviously a stud, franchise forward, one of the best players in the league. Hedman's emerged as a number one defenseman, and Ben Bishop will be a Vezina finalist. I think Marty St. Louis may have erred, and he'll probably never admit this, but I think Marty will probably feel the same way. When you're looking at it, I think Hedman will finish in the top 10 in the Norris Trophy balloting, so he won't get an invitation to Vegas, but you have a top 10 finish in the Norris Trophy. You have a probable Vezina winner in Bishop, and then you're going to have two, I believe, at least one Calder finalist between Johnson and Palat, possibly two. It could be those two in Nate McKinnon, which it's McKinnon's to lose, but just looking at the contribution Bishop Hedman's had this season, talk with Bishop ad nauseum, and the way the Lightning have been able to play without Steven Stamkos for the lion's share of the season, and then without Marty St. Louis going forward, obviously because he's on Broadway, and Hedman's really been effective. He's been effective, been efficient. He's been, I think, what they expected him to be when they drafted him with that number 2 over. Back in '09, they took him over Duchesne and Braden Shen, Evander Kane, guys like that, and I think there was a lot of questions. I mean, I've been frustrated watching Hedman play. I've been down in Tampa for 4 years now, but back and forth, and I was kind of expecting him to be, further along his development. Then you factor he's also only 23 years old, and he'd be a senior at BU or BC or wherever if you play college hockey, and it's like, well, you know what, maybe you got to give the kid a little more leeway, and you looking at his teammates and Alex Killorn and Tyler Johnson, guys like that. They really weren't in the NHL until they were 22, 23. So Hedman's got 4 or 5 years now of being in the show, playing against the best players in the world on a night-in, night-out basis, and he's finally starting to put it all together. And he is a treat to watch. If you ever get the chance to watch Lightning play, obviously Stamkos is amazing, but you look at what Hedman's doing this year, and he won't be a finalist for the Norris Trophy this year, but I believe going forward he's going to be a perennial contender for the award, which is what the Lightning had in mind when they drafted him out of Modo. I mean, he really does a lot of things and does a lot of things well, and is really emerging as a top flight defenseman. He's good offensively. He plays, he plays big. He is a big kid, and once it's all together, he will be a perennial Norris Trophy candidate. And I think you're really starting to see the work he's put in with. If you told me, the inconsistencies with him were always an issue. If you told me coming into the season, he'd have a top 10 finish in the Norris Trophy balloting, and Marty St. Louis would be out of Tampa, say, you got to go to that rehab facility in Malibu Lindsay Lohan went to, but nope, this is a special team in Tampa, and you look at Hedman's 23, Bishop's an amazing goalie. They'll get him signed long term in the off season. Drouin is one of the best prospects in hockey. We've talked about Palat, Johnson, Killorn. Obviously, one of the best players in the game is Stamkos. And then Tyler Kucherov, Brown. Players like that. It's like Marty St. Louis may have just really shot his hockey career in the foot and made it very, very difficult to win the Stanley Cup in his last few years in the National Hockey League. But we'll see that. We'll see what happens. I think the future is very bright in Tampa, and I think Victor Hedman is a big reason why the future is so bright for the Lightning. Anyway, that's on this episode of the Power Play with CJ on Victor Hedman's potential Norris Trophy candidacy. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.